Classroom, and today we'll be looking at what is called flooding. Yes, we get flooded in our homes. We get flooded with laughter. We get flooded with sorrows. Flooding is part of God's creation. But geographically, we are going to look at what is called flooding and how it can be very dangerous to us as humans and to the environment. Everything too much of it is very bad. Yes, rain needs to fall, but must it become very destructive? Yes, the river bodies, the fluvial processes, the water bodies, the streams, the rivers, the ocean, all needs to be in place because it serves a purpose. Ocean current helps temperature to regulate. Not only that, rivers also is very useful for irrigation, for cultivation, and so on and so forth. Yes, not only that, the same rivers can be also used for what? For electricity generation, we call the hydroelectric power. So everything that God has created around us is good, but too much of everything becomes very bad. Yes, we need development, but as we are developing, we have become so, how do I even put it? We have become so selfish that we don't think about the environment that we live in. Everything that we are making use of should be sustainable geographically. That does not harm what? The future generation. Whatever, development that is taking place must be very good, must be sustainable in such a way that it does not affect the future generation. So what have we been doing so far? Let's look at this. I want us to look at this video. Look at it. This is flood. In a couple of days now, mostly in the West African countries, they are facing this flood. Many places are associated with this flooding. Why? It can happen that cold fronts can push warmer air to rise up, like I was teaching the other time. Then clouds will be formed. Yes, then there can be rainfall. Not only that, when there's sunshine, excessive sunshine, evaporation also takes place. Then, if evaporation takes place, what happens? There's more cloud formation, then torrential rain can also what? Can also fall. Excessive rainfall leads to what we call what? Flooding. I also go further and say that when water overflows or accumulates a lot in a dry, normally a place which is dry, that is what we call what? Flooding. It is very dangerous if care is not taken, because it causes environmental degradation. The environment is destroyed when there's excessive water or there's flooding. It leads to loss of life. Many people recently have lost their life. I can make mention of Ghana, where there's this disaster of flooding that has taken the lives of many. Nigeria and all sorts of many have lost their life. Properties have been destroyed. People have to start. In fact, there's a social decline due to what? To flooding. Another thing is vegetation have been eroded away. Erosion has taken place due to the same word, flooding that we are talking about. Imagine a farmer who is a commercial farmer and depends, it's not a subsistence farmer who feed himself, but a commercial farmer and his farm is flooded. What comes there into the crops? Maybe mudslides and sleet up falls into the farm, and everything is destroyed. How much? Even not only that, manures, fertilizers, everything is washed away. It costs money. Infrastructures are destroyed. Bridges, homes, everything collapse due to what? Flooding. In fact, nowadays, to go back to such countries, people have dropped drastically. There will be economic hardship. The country will decline. Infrastructures, when destroyed, will also be reduced. So flooding is a very sensitive thing that is happening that we ignore due to our own selfish reasons. Yes, overdevelopment, over modernization has let us forget that there is natural disaster. Not only that, people, they also tend to take in account how flooding can be very dangerous. We don't tend to take in account. Sometimes when we have money and we want to overdo things, we don't take a pause in life to see how drastic this thing will have an effect on us. So as a geographer or geographers, looking at flooding we look at it in this what, two angles or two factors that leads to what, flooding. The first one we'll talk about is the natural physical factors and weather condition. Then the other one is human what, activities. Natural physical factors, I'll talk about heavy rain. Yes, rain can fall heavily. When there's excessive heavy rainfall, what happens? Rivers rejuvenate. How do they rejuvenate? The water tables rises up. Water gains more energy. To rejuvenate means to move and what? Accelerate or move faster. So when it moves faster, every obstacle which is on the way is what? Is taken away. Then the water moves excessively. So river rejuvenation can also lead to what we call what? Flooding. Torrential rainfall. What is happening? When there's excessive sunshine, yes, the ocean body and the water bodies get heated. Remember, vapor now goes up. Water vapor goes up. What goes up? Clouds are formed, condensation takes place, then it will lead to heavy rainfall. So heavier rainfall rises the volume of water, then what happens? Flooding will take place. Also, steeper slope. When the slopes we have the places we are living are steeper, what will happen? When there's excessive rainfall, what will happen? All the water will flow downstream. So mostly those who are under the slope, they are the ones who suffers the most than those who are on top. Another one is the fluvial processes. You can't stop a river body. It's a fluvial, it's very, very sensitive. It needs to move. Remember, some rivers are permanent, some are not permanent. Permanent rivers flows all year round, so you find it flowing. But yet still, due to the greed of many of us, we still want to build on the flat plains. You can't build on the flat plains. It's totally unacceptable. Because rivers always rejuvenate. When there's excessive rainfall, they gain back energy and they want to move. And when they move and you have blocked the path, what happens to it? Slate is, you put soil, you put slate, you put what? All in the name of development. No. Some of us will go to the extent of throwing even trash and all those things in the river bodies, causing all this mess that you are talking about. A river needs to flow nicely. Even the marshy area where we have aquatic plants and animals, sometimes even becomes we need to clear it so that the water body can be able to move. So these are some of the things that naturally can take place for rivers can lead to flooding. Even the ocean. When there are excessive ocean current, tides, even an erosion can take place in a river, in an ocean. Then what will happen? We normally call it a tsunami, and it can also lead to to flooding. So we have to be extremely cautious with the world that we are living in and the environment. This is where my main focus is the human activity, infrastructure. Yes, we need infrastructure to develop a country, but that doesn't mean that we should build on the water bodies, on the fluvial landforms. No. Development is good, but not in that way. Deforestation, temperatures, global warming, temperatures are becoming relatively very high. Upon our skyscraper buildings, we are cutting down all vegetation, not putting in place other ways we can have vegetation to normalize the temperature. No, we just cut all the vegetation, all in the name of paving, nice place, tiling and everything. We forgot that vegetation is very, very paramount. If we don't do that, torrential rain will fall and it becomes destructive. Mining, nowadays, because of greed, mining, we have destroyed all the water bodies. They are silt all over that it becomes difficult for them to flow freely. Another thing is urbanization, where many people flood to the urban area, lack of development in the rural area. So government must focus on developing the rural area so that other people can also be able to live in the rural area instead of us all going to the urban area. Now, because there's scarcity of land everywhere, we are building in places where we are not supposed to even build and live, leading to urban sprawl. When there's urban sprawl, excessive expansion of the urban area unnecessarily, now people will start building on low areas and fluvial land area, causing this disaster that we are facing. So please, let us be careful so that we don't flood our life, don't flood our homes. May God help us. Bye.